Right, in this one we're going to work on the windshield wipers. We'll go back in time a little bit, back to probably the spring, I think, when I put it back in, or put everything in. We'll go over what I did for the wiring, the knob that I changed out, and then also a couple lessons learned on that one. So yeah, let's hit it.
Hi, my name is Caleb, and welcome to Finleycraft. In this corner of my channel, we're going to dive into the automotive world. I've owned and worked on many different types of vehicles over the years. So join me as we build, repair, and have some adventures on the road and in nature. I hope to earn your subscription, and please like and leave a comment.
It's the motor. Got a wiring harness up here for it. Oh, this stinks. So it smells like. Ugh. Smells like dead animal. Gross. So that is the bracket to hold that up. So let's put that back in the box, shall we? Not sure why there's 3 bolts in there, but. Ugh. That's why we normally wear gloves. I bet these are the instructions. Oh, no, I feel some hardware in there. Oh, they're set screws. This is, let's see here. Okay. So basically it's saying that I might need to drill and tap this in order for it to sit properly on top of that there. There's a couple little tiny set screws that they sent along with that. All right. Well. Interesting. This grease looks super gross. This is an awesome tool. So it's great for straightening up brake line, but it looks like that one right there is big enough to fit this, so I can use it to kind of straighten this out a bit, relieve some of the curvature. Yeah, a little bit. Most of it done first. definitely notice that there's only a couple wheels versus going with the 3/16 going all the way from the end here. It will actually straighten it completely out. It's actually gouging this, so I think we're going to stop there. I don't need to break this down. This is super soft aluminum tubing. All right. Okay, so here we have the windshield wiper motor. It has a U-bolt, big old U-bolt that goes around it, and there are two, I think it's 15 millimeter bolts on the backside that attach to that. I highly recommend get all that set and tightened down before you put the dash back on, because that is a pain in the butt to tighten those bolts down without it. I know. So there's the wiring adapter as mentioned. So it comes with this plug here, and you have to wire it all. So these wires, even though these are the right colors, were actually from other parts of the dash and on the car. They just happen to be the right color, and I taped them over with fabric tape to make my own kind of wiring loom here. So this comes to you in a box. This tubing here comes in just a coil. It's easily moldable, and you can see that it goes up over to here. Oops, sorry. Goes up to this guy here, and this is what pokes through the dash for the windshield wiper. And what I found out was when I went to go turn it on, I have this in backwards. So right now the line is coming in on the top of this as we're looking at it here on this picture. But really needs to be coming in on the bottom, because it goes in the reverse direction from where I want it to be. It basically wants its resting place to be with the windshield wipers straight up, which is very annoying. So
I need to change that around, swap these upside down. Shouldn't be too terribly difficult. What we have here is a couple of these little bolts here. I think those are like 8 or 10 millimeter bolts, nuts that are on these little riveted bolts. I will slide this back. This tubing is kind of like a, if you've ever done brake cables on a bike, it's kind of the same thing. It just basically holds it. This clamps down on that tubing there, and that tubing goes over to there, where that nut cinches down into it. And then there is I don't know if you can see it very well, but inside of there is a kind of grooved cable, if you will, that actually rides along the little gear teeth inside of there, and then also inside of here. So it's not too hard. You just basically need to lay it all out. And again, I recommend doing this before you do a bunch of other stuff. There's not a ton of room to work back in there, so this should be, as far as order goes, should be before you do a lot of your wiring. And you do want to know where you're going to put your heater box, but you probably want to do it before your wiring, so you know how to route it and what have you. So, but anyway, each their own. This is, by the way, this is not the location that they typically put that. I believe that normally goes right up here. There's some brackets here, and that is where normally the fuse block box goes. I moved it to the firewall, and I have a secondary fuse box that's hanging down right now, but this actually will sits up over the top of here. It was just a personal preference. To each their own. I was considering, and still am, cutting this out and making a box here with a false back that you could easily pull out and reach through if you need to get to your fuses. But at the same time, it's pretty easy for me just to get up underneath here. So I'll figure it out. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do just yet. Still working through these kinks. So, all right. And then, like I said, goes into that. You cut the pipe down. The way that I did it was I kind of measured from here to there. I got this installed, and then I measured that length, cut that pipe according to that, and then from here to the next one, I measured that length and cut it. And then the kind of geared cable that's inside of there, that's up inside of there, on the driver's side, and let me go over there. Okay, so on the driver's side, I left some extra aluminum tubing, and that way I had about 4 inches of extra travel, and cut even that little coil wire you can see there, cable, what have you, a little long. So that way I had some extra room to play with. So, and don't worry, all this crazy wiring mess, I will be cleaning it up real nice before we're done here. This was kind of just a rush to get it on the road and over to that car show last month. So now I'm back to kind of finalizing things, cleaning up things, trying to get everything kind of taken care of here. If I haven't shown it before, just a quick little look at how I've got my pedal set up in here. Shell Valley did give me VW covers for these. They were really tight and hard to get on there, so I just kind of left them off. I haven't really needed them. And then I've got this Silas all over everything, heat mat. I did drive on a really hot day, and with the boot on my shifter, it was actually pretty comfortable in here. It wasn't too bad. I wasn't getting a lot of heat for the exhaust basically being right here, going right underneath here. So anyway, let's get these windshield wiper attachments turned around here. We'll come back when we're done. Okay, so here is the windshield wiper assembly here. I've taken it out of the car because I couldn't swap these out without taking these out. So in order to put these in, you have to, the assembly of this rather, is you slide on this, tighten this guy down, then you slide this in, and if you notice the orientation here that I've got it, so this is up, this is where this connects to the frame inside the car, comes out here, and this is right now sitting here like that, but really it needs to be like that. So I've got it, instead of it being the other way around like it was, I've got it
I've got it now so that it should be the correct orientation. And then the same thing. So anyway, you slide these on, one of these on first, and straighten the tube, adjust it. It's aluminum, so it's super flexible. So just be careful that you don't overflex. You can bend it. I tried running it through a line straightener, and it did work, but it also added some grooves to here. Here, I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so let's talk windshield wipers, what you get in there, what it took to install it here. So the kit comes with the windshield wiper arms here, the blades, really everything you need to get going. It attaches to this little assembly that a kind of cable thing, a chain cable, rides through. And then there's a length of aluminum tubing that they send with it as well. And then the motor and the switch. And the switch that you use is this right here. And it came with this little knob on it. I wanted to kind of unify these. So this is a Yamaha aluminum guitar, or not Yamaha, but it's just a guitar knob. I kind of reamed it out just a little bit because it was a little small. So I made it a little bit bigger to match this so it would fit over that. And then it just uses a set screw to tighten there. Obviously, this isn't painted, isn't finished yet here, but I don't plan on putting any labels in there, so it would just be dealer's choice. You just have to figure it out when you go to turn it on if you've never been in here before. But since I'm the one driving it, I don't plan to sell it anytime soon. I know which one is which. I don't need to label my buttons here. I like the little bit of mystery. Anyway, this switch does have the ability to do a press for washer, and there's an adapter there. So you, in theory, could go get yourself a washer set up, and if you wanted to set it up and be able to get the screen washer, but for a convertible, I'm not entirely sure why you would want to do that, because I feel like that would just spray right over the top. So obviously you can see my screen's a little dirty here. I'm riding up on 300 miles right now on this, and the few times that I've driven it in the evening, there have been bugs on the road. So anyway, here's the instructions that it comes with. Not a whole lot, but it is what you need to kind of get going. It's pretty intuitive, actually. So this right here is basically the part that is on the windshield wiper motor itself that you will run the wires from, and then this is the back of the switch. So one thing to note, this is yellow in harness switched power. This is not the switch coming from the key. You will flip your I believe you'll flip your fuse if you hook the yellow coming from the switch, as in switch power from your engine or ignition, into here. That goes on this side. This is the in harness. So this yellow goes to that yellow, this blue goes to that blue, this green goes to that green, orange. Okay, got it good. And as mentioned, if you're gonna do a washer, you could come off of here, run it into the washer, and then run a ground from the washer. So I don't know if people do that or not, but like I said, I don't. So this is one of the things that does come with the kit. So this was in the box with all the windshield wiper parts. Okay, we are back in business here. We got it all put in the right place. So that's back in there. Flip it up, put it on medium. Just a little glass killing around there so it doesn't so not so noisy, but alrighty. And it does auto reset. So all right, let's talk about adjustments on this. So you have basically 3 different adjustments inside of here. This can be moved around, so you'll have to dial that in. There's a little tiny lever, it's hard to see, right down there, in which that is what kind of releases this. And then you can extend this in and out with this right here. You can pull that back, put a little tiny small screwdriver in there, you can pull that back, and this will adjust in and out. And then your third adjustment is this right here, and that adjusts the pivot of that. They're both exactly the same. They're both the same length. They're 12-inch long. But took a little bit of dialing in to make sure that it wasn't hitting down here and just rubbing over and over again. I hope I didn't scratch the chrome while I was typing that or getting that dialed in, but it doesn't look like it. So anyway, we are all installed.
Thanks for watching.